Hello, and welcome to Havoc Wargaming, dedicated to bringing you the uncommon. For those of you who haven't met me, my name is Ron, and today we're going to do a review of War in Christmas Village by Jackalope Enterprises. So let's get started. Recently, the excellent figures by Jackalope Enterprises for War in Christmas Village were brought to my attention by a member of my club. These are really fun. They're whimsical figures designed for, originally designed for any game you want to play. I think they were originally thought of as a one-off D&D expansion. They are for a whimsical battle in your Aunt Anne's Christmas village. Very, very silly idea. The figures are very well made. They're clearly 3D sculpts. In fact, one of the options that's available to you is to buy just the STLs. You can buy the STLs for private use. You can buy the STLs at a higher price for commercial use to reprint. And in fact, some of these are available through Etsy by various sellers. Or you can purchase them the way I did as finished products directly from Jackalope on eBay. And that's what I did. I bought the whole bundle. They gave me a discount on it, not because of what I do here. They don't know anything about this. So I bought the bundle, which is all of the original starting figures, all the figures that are available commercially through them. There's a handful of extra figures that are only available through people who have the license or for buying STLs, and I do eventually want to get those. But as they stand, the figures as they come from the company, they're all packed in individual packaging based on various themes. Later on, the rules were written. My understanding from the Facebook page is these rules were written because of the demand of the public and the purchasers of the original Kickstarter, not because they were the intention of the original producer of the game at all. Very, very simple rules. They're not complete. They're missing some of the figures that are available in the game are not included in the stats for the game. I think this is probably because the rules were an add-on and aren't really the driving force of the company. That being said, I'm going to put a video up here of the game, and you'll see what that's like. But the nice thing about these is these are really versatile. If you don't enjoy or didn't enjoy the basic, simple game system that was created for it, and it's perfectly plausible and perfectly usable for a lighthearted, whimsical, once-a-year Christmas game like this is likely to be. But you could very easily use these same figures as was intended for a D&D game, as they mentioned. Or with very little work, you could make a 7TV game based around them. You could do Pulp Alley. Pulp Alley would be the obvious fix in my mind. It'd be very easy. You could make a duplicate of their game because there's a bunch of special activity cards and things like that. But you could give them all abilities that match the flavor or the nature of the character involved. The boxes right now, they come in a few different sets. We'll show some of them here and discuss those a little bit further. So real quickly, we're going to talk about some of the different products that are available from War in Christmas Village. Now, it is possible to purchase these as STLs. He sells mostly through, he being Jackalope Miniatures, they sell mostly through eBay, and you can buy them either as commercial prints like I've done here, and these review will be covering those commercial prints. You can buy a whole set of the STLs, or you can buy a whole set of the STLs with a commercial license to produce them on your own. With that in mind, there's also some people who are selling these with those commercial license on Etsy, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on. But we're going to go through first to talk about the figures. Mine are not entirely finished, but they're close. We'll start over here. The first box we're going to look at here is the first package that was made, in my understanding, in the game, and that is the Corrupt Next Christmas pack. This has got Krampus, St. Nicholas, 2 Snow Goons, Santa Claus, and a scatter dice. So a lot of these come with scatter dice, which are necessary in the game. I like the figures a lot. I really like the St. Nicholas figure here. Really like him. The only one I'm not thrilled with, in fact this one's not finished painting because some of his details were hard to figure out and make out. Found a really good image of him on Joe's eBay, and I'm going to use that to figure out the details a little bit better and finish him. He's one of the few figures here who's not done being painted. Next up we're going to talk about are the Snow Goons. They're basically 2 designs of Snow Goons. one of each of them came in the set that we just talked about, but this one gives you 4 of each of them. That's going to be important. The hireling or henchling characters, the servant characters, you're going to need a bunch of them. In fact, I wish he sold a box of elves. There's 8 Snowgoons come in that Snowgoon package. The next one we have over here, She Ain't Having It. This is the zombie set. Comes with a zombie, I forgot the zombie reindeer. There's a zombie reindeer that comes in the first set, the Santa Claus set, right? There's the zombie reindeer. Forgot all about him over there. But the She Ain't Having It comes with the Mrs. Claus there, another one of my favorite figures in the set. It comes with 3 zombies. One of them's hidden back here. I'm going to repaint mine. I painted them they're not finished, and I painted them mostly inspired by the artwork on the box. But on the Facebook page, I saw a beautiful set of those all painted in festive red and greens, and I just thought it was brilliant looking, so I'm going to repaint them in red and green. And then lastly, there's the Burl Ives inspired character. I don't remember his name, and right now there isn't a card for him in the game, which doesn't help me remember his name. I think it's Snowman Sam or something. And then there's a zombie horse in the back there. This is the Oh Christmas Tree Ant set. It comes with the Christmas tree ant and 3 workshop elves and a number of packages, a mixture of regular Christmas gifts and mimicry gifts. The mimicry gifts, for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, are gifts that they look like presents, but they actually are these dangerous monsters. So it comes with a number of those. I don't know exactly how many because I've got 2 packages of presents and I think they got kind of confused. This is the tree ant himself. He's one of my favorite pieces so far in the set. Really, really nice piece. And the gingerbread men, again, this comes with 7 figures, 2 of the large gingerbread men and then 5 of the little ones, all armed differently and in different conditions. This poor one has been eaten a little. Again, very important figures necessary for the game. And then lastly is the Christmas Misfits, or Mistletoe Misfits. The zombie set comes with a random moot die. The tree ant comes with one, and this Misfits one comes with one. The Misfits also come with Rodney, the Christmas Ranger, Perda, the Christmas Witch, the Mouse King, the Easter Bunny there, Jack Frost, Blitzen, the Reindeer Man, and the Nutcracker. There's no card in the rules right now for Rodney. I don't have cards for Rodney. I don't have cards for the Snowman Sam. I don't have cards for the zombie horse or the zombie reindeer. I'm not sure whether to just treat them as zombies or if that's an error. We'll come back to what I mean by not having cards in a moment. But these are the basic figures. Now, these are what I said. These are what you get when you buy the complete production set. This, and also there's a box of additional presents. Again, most of these are the actual mimics, not mimicries, not the actual real presents. Presents are objectives in the game as well as these mimicry monsters. So I wish there were more of the presents made than come in these sets. Now, if you have the STLs, that's not a problem. You can make as many as you like. But it's a little more problem if you don't do 3D printing and you're purchasing them. And also it comes with, lastly, I haven't painted mine yet, also he doesn't have a card in the game yet anyway, or I don't think he does, and that's the cowboy riding a jackalope. I bet this was kind of done as a joke because of the name of their company being Jackalope Miniatures. It's also, as long as I have this package in front of me, this is how the commercial products come. When you buy these, they come in a vacuum-formed plastic holder that they fit inside a cardboard box like games, and these are available, I think I mentioned on eBay. I did not mention you can actually get these on Amazon as well. So that's what you get with the kit. What the kit does not have that's necessary if you're playing the game, particularly if you're playing his game, the War and Christmas Village rules, you need a lot of these servant characters. Even if you're just playing a one-on-one game, there's a large number of these servant characters that are going to be making up each side. I like to play bigger than that, like maybe, if I'm playing at the club, I'm going to want 4 people in the game. So it's going to take up a lot of these Snowgoons, the gingerbread men, workshop elves. But on top of it, The wandering encounters in the game are made up mostly of those same characters, so you need to have some of those available to be your wandering characters. And then there's a number of scenarios that are often built around, like the gingerbread men have a specific scenario that goes with them, and the workshop elves, the sleigh scenario is specifically built around them. So it's probably a good idea if you're buying pre-made ones like I've done here, to go ahead and get an extra box probably of the snowmen and the gingerbread men. Maybe the tree ant set. The tree ant is one of the wandering encounters, so it is possible that you could have multiple tree ants on the table. I don't think it's that likely, but the elves are an issue. Again, if you have the STLs, you can just keep printing as many elves as you want. Also, there's somebody on Etsy who sells a package of, I think it is 6 elves. There's actually some castings available, or STLs available, I should say, that aren't available directly through Jackalope on eBay yet. That includes 2 different elves, as well as an elf riding on a deer that's rearing up on its hind legs. And there's a Yeti, and there's a Lee Majors inspired character. I don't know all else what may be out there. I think those are available as STLs. And you can definitely buy them printed through Etsy from other companies, but they're not available directly yet. There was a mention on the Facebook page of the possibility of doing another Kickstarter this summer that will include those figures. Now over here, you may have seen them when I was going through earlier. I have a couple of additional things I bought from other people. I just got these, so I haven't painted them yet. One of the adventures is a sleigh. That's the one that requires a whole lot of these elves. It's a bunch of renegade elves stealing presents and Santa's secrets. So you need a sleigh. There's a couple of them. I found 3 different sleighs that would work on Etsy. I ended up getting this one because it wasn't necessarily my favorite one, but some of the others had characters or something all over them, and I wasn't sure how easy I could remove them. And this one will certainly work. This actually didn't come with that deer. It came with a horse, like this horse here. I bought the deer because I didn't know it was coming with anything. Also, I found another company that does mimicry presents, and I bought these. While they're really nice figures, I don't know if you can make these out. My better camera for this just died. They're really nice sculpts for their mimicries, but I really bought them because they have a regular present version of each of the mimicries. But the regular presents is what I was after anyway, because I'm going to use those for objective markers instead of relying on the mimicry ones as objective markers. So I mentioned the rules a couple of times. A set of rules was created. First off, I want to defend them a little bit. I think I got an email from the writer asking me if I'd help him do some revisions in the rules, and I think maybe I came across too negative in the game in ways I hadn't meant. I do enjoy this game. And I want to mention before I talk about some of the issues I have with the rules, that these are free. So, what do you expect for free anyway? They're available on Wargames Vault as a DLC. So they're just typewritten. There's no art with them really. There's a couple of additional art pages and some color charts basically. So, but they don't look like much. I think they're based on Frostgrave. They have a very similar feel to Frostgrave. For instance, in your combat, if you're shooting, you roll and add your shoot skill. You have to beat your opponent, they roll their dodge, and you have to beat their defense. If you have any damage, then you roll on a chart that shows what the damage is going to be. In melee, roll and add your melee. And the winner is the one who out-rolls the other one, but still it has to beat the defense to do damage. Pretty simple. There's weather rules in the game. It's all pretty simple. You choose a hero, and a hero can be any of the main named characters. It isn't their character that makes them a hero, it's going to be the cards you choose. And that's where this game really is different than Frostgrave. All of the named characters have several sheets of paper that are designed to be made into cards. These give several different special abilities they have. Every one of them has more than 8 choices of these, and that's important because if you're the hero, you get to use 8 cards. But part of that game, part of the way this game works is deciding which 8 abilities you think you're going to need for the scenario you're running. Because you can't have all the abilities that are there, you can only have 8. So you pick the character that you're going to have as your hero, you pick which 8 abilities he's going to use in the game. You then pick which one you're going to use as your seasonal sidekick. The seasonal sidekick gets a choice of 5 of those abilities. So the only difference between the hero and the sidekick is the amount of the available special abilities they're going to have to use. You're free to choose whoever you want of the named characters for this. It doesn't have to follow some sort of these are good guys or bad guys, or these guys are opponents of those guys sort of attitude. It's a really good system to make use of these beautiful figures. So I would definitely recommend getting the rules and giving the rules a try. And when I talked about the elves, there are some other places you can get some of these figures. There's a number of companies on Etsy that do different fighting snowmen, so the snow goons are not that hard to come by. But there's another similar game to this called Blitzkringle by Killer Bee Games. It's a similar idea to this game. It has its own figure line as well. I should have brought some of those here. I think they're a little smaller, so I don't know that they play together that well. I have a whole bunch of elves for that game. But that's a place you might be able to find some other figures and things to mix in, or a rule system you may want to try. Killer Bee Games is probably better known for their game Geezers. They also have Geezer Royale, which is a spy game. They have a space game, I can't remember what that one's called. They now are yet another company doing a Wizard of Oz game. They're out of England, but if you're here in America, you can get them through Recreational Conflict. I realize this is a little weird, talking about a Christmas game right after Christmas, but in the old days, Christmas went until 12th night anyway. And I'm not thinking about this year, I'm thinking about next year. The truth is, when I bought these figures, I never expected I'd have any video or games up by the end of this Christmas. One thing I will definitely say about Jackalope Miniatures, I bought these figures online through eBay like 2 weeks before I ran the game. So in 2 weeks' time, they managed to get me all of these figures, and I got most of them painted. They're not all flocked, but they're mostly painted. They're a breeze, most of them are a breeze to paint, and really enjoyed painting them. I think you'll enjoy painting them too. And you've got plenty of time now to prepare to have your own mayhem in Christmas Village next year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it somewhat useful. I hope you'll consider looking at this game or thinking about this game if you're looking for some sort of way to have extra Christmas fun. And that's what this game's about. It's not, the rules are very, I was going to say beer and pretzel. They're really more eggnoggy and Christmas cookie. But they're meant to be light, they're meant to be fun, and they're meant to be get your group together and just have a lot of little Christmas silliness. And they do that very, very well. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have any questions, or if you've played this game or similar games and would like to share your experience with those, we look for that in the comments down below. We also look to the comments section for any ideas for further content you'd like to see us produce here on Cry Havoc Wargaming. If you've liked the video, I hope you'll hit like, and if you'd like to continue to receive notifications for videos like this one that may help you determine how to better spend your money or time in your tabletop wargaming hobby, then I hope you'll hit subscribe and ring our notification bell. Until next time, cheers, and have a very happy New Year.